institutional DeFi, how hedge funds and banks are quietly entering the space, decentralized finance, or DeFi, began as a movement to disrupt traditional finance. Built on the promise of decentralization, it offered a bold vision of a world without intermediaries. But over time, something interesting happened. The very institutions DeFi set out to replace, banks, hedge funds, and financial giants, began to take notice. Today, these institutional players are quietly, yet strategically, integrating into the DeFi ecosystem, transforming it from the inside out. Why institutions are moving into DeFi. The appeal of DeFi to institutional investors is rooted in its core advantages: transparency, speed, efficiency, and the potential for high returns. Unlike traditional finance, DeFi operates on public blockchains where every transaction is traceable. Smart contracts automate processes that typically require layers of human oversight and paperwork. For institutions, this means lower operational costs and faster settlement times. But most importantly, DeFi unlocks entirely new avenues for revenue generation and capital deployment. Yield farming and liquidity provision. Institutions are increasingly participating in yield-generating strategies. By deploying capital into DeFi protocols like Aave, Compound, and MakerDAO, they can earn interest, transaction fees, and governance token rewards. Hedge funds in particular are capitalizing on these returns by rotating assets into liquidity pools and decentralized exchanges, DEXs like Uniswap and Curve. These contributions help stabilize markets by increasing available liquidity, which in turn reduces slippage and improves trading efficiency. As a result, institutional involvement is quietly maturing the DeFi landscape. Tokenization of real-world assets, RWA. Perhaps the most transformative trend is the tokenization of real-world assets. Major financial institutions are exploring how physical assets, such as real estate, corporate bonds, and even art, can be converted into digital tokens and traded on blockchain platforms. This process unlocks liquidity from traditionally illiquid assets and makes fractional ownership possible. Big names like JP Morgan, BlackRock, and Goldman Sachs have already launched or are piloting RWA tokenization projects. These tokens can be traded 24/7 on permissioned DeFi platforms, providing access to global markets and new pools of capital. DeFi compliance solutions. With greater institutional involvement comes a growing need for regulatory compliance. This is where platforms like Aave and custodial solutions such as Fireblocks come into play. These services are designed specifically for institutions offering KYC and AML features that align with global regulatory standards. Blockchain analytics firms like Chainalysis and Elliptic also support these efforts by monitoring on-chain activity, helping institutions assess and mitigate risk in real time. Security tokens, bridging the traditional and DeFi worlds. Security tokens are digital representations of traditional securities, such as equities or bonds, on the blockchain. These tokens offer the regulatory protections of traditional finance, but with DeFi's advantages, instant settlement, programmability, and greater transparency. Institutions view security tokens as a bridge between familiar financial instruments and a decentralized future. Retail investors, new opportunities, new trade-offs. Institutional adoption brings benefits like enhanced security, deeper liquidity, and reduced volatility. However, it may also result in tighter regulation and increased competition, potentially affecting yields for retail users. Still, long-term upside is clear: more robust DeFi platforms, safer protocols, and improved user experiences. At Kenson Investments, we provide in-depth research, strategy consulting, and education on the evolving DeFi space. Whether you're a fund manager looking to optimize returns or an individual investor curious about institutional trends, we're here to help you navigate the next frontier of finance. Ready to explore the future of institutional DeFi? Follow Kenson Investments and take your first step into the next evolution of finance.